Okay, Satyanarayana sir, you can start now.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to say thank you to everyone gathered here. Myself, P. Satyanarand, convener, Institutions Innovation Council, Tech University. On behalf of Institutions Innovation Council, Tech, in association with School of Electrical and Communication, Department of ECE, and Mastering Up Tech Solutions, I feel honored to welcome you all to this event, International Expert Talk on AI in Engineering Applications and Education. It's a pleasure to invite our resource person for this event, Dr. Anand Kumar, Professor, Amity University, Dubai, Rice University. Welcome, sir. Institutions Innovation Council in Tech and Mastering Up is grateful to Dr. Anand Kumar for the acceptance of our invitation and for sharing your valuable time with us, sir. Tech IAC regularly conduct series of events for fostering the culture of innovation, design thinking, patent filing, and all startup related across the university with our mastering up Tech solutions. As a part of this and because of Welltech IIC and mastering up, today we are conducting this event to cultivate new ideas in fresh minds of student community. Finally, I welcome all the participants to this event. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, and esteemed guests and dear friends, it's my absolute honor to introduce someone who truly embodies the spirit of innovation and excellence, Dr. Anand Kumar. Dr. Kumar is a powerhouse of knowledge and creativity with over 23 years of academic expertise, seamlessly blended with more than a decade of industry experience. His journey began at the prestigious BITS Bilani and culminated in an MS and PhD in electrical and computer engineering from Rice University. But that's just the beginning. Dr. Kumar's career is a global story spanning industry giants like Motorola, Ericsson, and even the iconic Iridium project, where he played a pivotal role in defining and messaging system requirements. From Arizona to Ireland, Norway, and Sweden, his work has left a lasting impact on critical projects and innovations in network and fault management systems. In academia, Dr. Anand has been nothing short of a trailblazer, holding esteemed roles such as Dean, Associate Dean, and Head of the Department at institutions like BITS Blani and higher colleges of technology and Amity University, Dubai. He is not only designed cutting edge curricula but also led programs to achieve international accreditations, shaping the future of engineering education in places like Egypt and the UAE. His contributions don't stop there. As a passionate researcher, he's explored everything from nano devices through to 3D printing and blockchain technology, mentoring students who have gone on shine at companies like Google, Apple, Cisco, and Salesforce, and at universities like Stanford, Cambridge, and Harvard. Currently, a professor at Amity University, Dubai, Dr. Kumar is a beacon of inspiration and focusing on deep learning for communication systems, curriculum design, and interdisciplinary engineering courses. He is also a senior member of IEEE and an active contributor to ASEM and organizing international conferences that expand the horizons of technology. Dr. Anand Kumar is not just a scholar or an industry leader. He is a mentor, an innovator, and a global citizen who's dedicated to empowering the next generation of thinkers and creators. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to the incredible Dr. Anand Kumar. So before we get started with today's session, I wanted to take a quick moment to introduce you to Thames Tech Solutions, pioneering series venture that redefining the landscape of technology. At Thames Tech Solutions, we are all about bringing innovative engineering and management and scientific tech solutions to the table. What truly sets us apart is our commitment to providing high quality, forward thinking solutions while ensuring they remain affordable. Our team of professionals is always ready to deliver tailored business plans that meet the unique needs of our clients. We offer a wide range of services, including digital marketing, web designing, server management, Android and iOS app development, and AI tools, to name just a few. Our expertise spans various sectors, such as industrial research, aerospace and defense, electronics and energy, medical applications, and many more. This wide breadth allows us to drive innovation and efficiency across all industries. And top of all this, we have an exciting initiative. It's called Mastering a Platform, which aims to unlock the potential of young learners by providing them with valuable skills for the future. We invite you to be part of this platform and help inspire and educate the next generation. So let's work together to create a brighter tomorrow. So, okay, at the end, I would like to introduce to the motto of Dr. Anand Kumar: empowering minds and bridging innovation and shaping a sustainable future through education and technology. So I would like to hand over the session to Dr. Anand Kumar, and also thanks a lot for joining us today, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Suganti, as well as I would like to thank my colleague from Welltech for your kind and I would say very generous introduction, probably more generous than I deserved. Now, I'm assuming that I've got a lot of young people in the audience, and so I will. I will give you some. I will say this much. When I was in my undergraduate many years ago, of course, uh, I sat in the first bench and I had a math class lecture at in my in my university. I sat in the front row, and this was right after lunch, and I had such a hard time keeping awake. And I always remember that because I want to make sure that I don't give a very long session, which I don't want you to fall asleep. So I'll try and limit my talk to about 30 minutes, and then we can have questions. Yeah. But before that, I want this engagement to be very interactive, and I would like you to. I'll give you opportunity to respond on the chat box, and that would be a great help. Okay. So those of you listening, especially my young students, and so please. And I'll just go through my first slide. These are the ground rules. Okay? I hope you can see my slide. The ground rules. You should. This is supposed to be an interactive webinar. Um, so, can you make it an interactive webinar? Say, please. If you say yes, please type an one on the chat box. Yeah, say type a one on the chat box so that you get engaged with this webinar. I'll give you 5 seconds to do that. So I'll make it easy for you to do it, but I would like you to get involved. Now, the next, I would like to go to my next slide, and here let's talk about what is AI. Maybe you can try and write down one or two descriptions in your chat box. Okay, you can say that. Okay. So what is AI? In one or two words. What is AI? What have you heard about AI? I'm sure there are many terminologies, many people talking about. Please do type in something, and so that you're kind of actively engaged. So that's number one. Now, but AI is a very broad term. It includes a lot of things. You probably, along with AI, you would probably have heard machine learning. You would have heard probably neural networks, deep learning, genetic algorithms, and a whole bunch of other things. So AI is a very broad area, and you would have heard a lot of things. So now let me kind of go into my next set of slides, and here this is taken from a BBC uh, site, and where they actually talk about how AI is process. I mean, what are the AI has many benefits, but they are kind of hard to what do you call they are they have their own negative sides, but that doesn't mean AI is bad. AI is not bad. So for example, you see the left, there is a lady with a gown standing there, and it almost looks real. It's supposedly a person called Kate Perry at the 2024 Met Gala. Now the reality is she was not at that gala, but and what gave away the matter was the fact there is a carpet behind her, which was uniquely used in that particular gala. So then, so that if you look at the details of the picture, you will know when something is generated by AI or it's a real picture. Now, if you look at the guy at the right top, all right, if you look at the person there, it looks like a Formula One driver, right? And he's in fact supposed to be Ryan Reynolds, but who's a Hollywood actor. He also owns an F1 team. And but if you look at the details on his jacket, you'll realize that it's not quite F1 related things on his jacket. So if a particular picture is not perfect enough, you realize, okay, it could be AI generated. Now, let me give you the other side of the story. There is a lady at the right bottom of the screen, not the one with the gown, but the other lady, and and that is Ariana Grande. She's a pop star, and the problem with this picture, especially her face, is too perfect. So if a picture is not perfect enough, it gives away the fact that is generated by AI. But if it's too perfect, also it is a problem because in real picture you don't get such perfection. So there are many benefits to AI, but there are some problems as well. Now let me move forward to the next slide. Now I will not. I will just kind of put it across to you. What are some common applications of AI? And if you're on the, you can try and post some things for your and I'm sure that many of you have used AI quite constantly, and I think today many banking applications are there. For example, I know I have a banking application, and whenever I call and ask for even customer service, then I get AI assistant to help me. And I have to say my voice is my password. So then it recognizes I'm a known customer. It does voice recognition and knows that I'm a customer of that particular bank. Now this my bank's virtual assistant is like Alexa, which you might have heard the term Alexa quite a bit. Will try to address my questions, and often it can answer quite a few questions. But when the issue gets more complex, uh, when you start asking complicated question, then it gets. I think it may not be able to quite handle the complexity, because I think AI as a tool in such applications is still maturing, and probably in the days to come, I expect a lot more mature product. But often for me, the challenge I know is that I know that my question is complex, and I try. It becomes a game for me to get past the virtual assistant to go to a person at the other end of the line. There was one time my car broke down, and I needed a roadside assistance. Now, there is a WhatsApp version or a text version of the AI assistant which helped me. But what happened in the process was I was on the main highway on the hard shoulder, but the driver who brought the tow vehicle ended up on the service road. So these are finer details which AI is still maturing, and it's a great opportunity that you can get a lot of work done by the AI assistant, which it's a very good thing. Some of these menial jobs or the detailed jobs can be done by the AI assistant. And you'll find that, for example, AI assistants are also helpful, very helpful in personalizing shopping experience I think if some girls are in the audience, you or your mother would be using it extensively. It can recommend products based on your past kind of searches, yeah, and it can also help to manage inventory. In fact, Google itself does extensive work on the search algorithms. It does a lot of it, and now they're having some certain challenges on it. But now I will go from here to what are some common fears of AI. And you can kind of, I'll give you about 5-10 seconds. Okay, I think I see some posts. Yeah, applications, healthcare, finance. Yeah, there are definitely there. And finance, we just talked about in the banking sector. Uh, I think I'll just talk a little bit about healthcare since it was mentioned on the chat. I will say that, for example, you can use image processing and you can use intelligence AI to, for example, more accurately detect if that person has cancer, let's say, through the images. So, a medical profession that is very possible, and the AI has a opportunity to kind of process a big data, as it may be, as it is called, and in a short time, the computational capabilities are there. But I would still say that probably at the end of it, as a patient, I would probably be more comfortable if human doctor can tell me, yeah, that is the AI tool is giving the right results. And that's just a personal, probably, experience and preference. And now, let's talk a little bit about the AI tools. What are some common AI fears? What are the fears? Anybody has any thoughts? Have you heard some fears that people have?
Sir, can you please switch on your audio?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we'll go to this slide, some common fears of AI. For example, there are some people, extreme people who say, that, oh, AI and robots will take over the world. That is a big fear. But I don't think that is going to happen in the immediate future. If you're one of those who watches a lot of robot movies, that fear may be very real to you. Or as you can see in that cartoon, a person is losing his job, and that, oh, we will lose our jobs if AI comes in. And sometimes it's a little genuine. For example, if you see on your screen, artists fear AI can replace them. For example, Marvel and Disney are movie making companies. They decided to use AI generated animated intro sequence to a particular series, a show. AI models, of course, the next one is quite interesting because AI models can steal and rehash the artist's work for making profit for somebody else. And so these are potential problems. But I'll tell you one thing, every technology comes with some problem or the other. It's a matter of how you rightly handle the technology, which is important. It is not about, oh, some technology is perfect, it will have no problems. Every technology will bring problems. If you go historically, there were problems with every technology, whether you talk radios, television, or you talk about mobile phones. Everything has its own. I mean, some people say that mobile phones fundamentally is about communication. But today, what happens when even within the family, there are 4 or 5 members in a family, they're sitting with their mobiles. Instead of talking to each other, they will chat with each other on social media. And that is a little bit unfortunate. So the people element is kind of a little bit lost. So every technology comes with its problems. Yeah. So, and as they say, we should not throw out the baby with the bathwater. And of course, and then third bullet in my slide says, psychologist says clients of all ages express concerns about AI. When people are having real fears, they go to psychologists to get their problems resolved. Now, But I will say this much is that uh, if some of you are already working, then we will need to upskill ourselves in order to be relevant to our jobs. We should know AI and what it means, what are the implications. We should learn something about it, learn certain skills about AI. But if you're students today, we need to be familiar with AI. And I'll tell you one thing. You need to be familiar with AI because in the future, every profession will use AI. There are some form of AI there. I'm not saying how advanced the technology will be. For example, I'll give you one example. I had a student. Uh, I was the mentor for their project, a 1 year long project with 8 students who worked on a drone project. They went to the US and they participated in an international competition. I think top universities from US and around the world were there. And this team came first. What was their project was about using drones with navigation. They used machine learning in their drones. Now, what happened? There are 2 students out of these 8 students went on to start up a company in California, and they had a company using machine learning. So, and one out of these 2 students, one was an electrical student, and the electrical student was the one who led the team. But the other student was a mechanical engineering student. He actually, see, mechanical engineering student who learned how to program machine learning. Now, if you really know, if you're some of you are mechanical engineers, you'll probably say, I really don't like programming. My son is graduated with a mechanical engineering degree. I know he didn't particularly like programming or software. But my point is, computers has come into every field of every profession, really. And I would suggest that AI and machine learning is something that you may really want to consider as you go through your university education. So we need to be familiar with the emerging technologies so that, and in fact, that student of mine, he said, look, if you want to get a high salary after you graduate, if you can combine a mechanical engineering degree with software skills, you will be in a very good shape. So that is the nature of where the industry is moving towards. Okay, now I will ask a question for you to ponder, and then I will go to the next slide. Do you think AI can be used in engineering? And that's the question. That's one of the main purposes of this talk. Are there engineering applications of where AI is used? So I'll give you 5-10 seconds, and then we will go forward. All right, and all right. And I'm going to now, can you see my slide, please? Can AI be used in telecom? And how? And what are the key drivers? And I just picked up the picture from a particular source, and I just like to give credit to the sources. But so that's why I put it up on that. And especially we're going on YouTube, so it's better to have the slide with the sources. So what are the key drivers is the question, right? When can AI be used in telecom, and what are the key drivers? Now let me go to in telecom, there is something called cognitive radios, which is basically intelligent radios. That has come into play mostly because there seems to be a shortage of this spectrum. Now, because there are the spectrum, the frequency spectrum is used by so many applications, including your microwave, by the way, and every other pretty much technology, many technologies use, even your television, when you over-the-air transmission or other kinds of technologies, they use the frequency spectrum, which is limited. So cognitive radios has come into of significance because it helps to use other spectrum which is not being used at a particular point in time, because no application uses any spectrum all the time. So that is cognitive radios. That's again to do with telecommunication. So software-defined radios is one subset of cognitive radios. Now, what is an advantage of SDR? SDR is a software-defined radio. What's the advantage? Major advantage is it's reconfigurable. Like software, the main advantage of anything in software as software systems is that you can rewrite the software. But with hardware, it is a little bit different because if I'm designing a chip in hardware, what happens is um, that you will have to rebuild your entire fab unit to make a fresh chip, and that's a very expensive process. Yeah, the clean room and many other things that are there, it's very expensive. So hardware redesigning and making changes is not easy, it is expensive. But of course, software system is not all good. That's why the point number 4 says, what's the disadvantage of software systems? It is much slower than hardware. So, and in telecommunication, especially, the speed matters, as you would probably notice when you say, "Oh, my system is lagging, my phone is lagging," and some of it is due to the networks. Now I'll come to point number 5. How can AI be used in mobile communication? That's one of my areas of research, and there are a lot of people who are working on that. They're trying to the entire communication systems, which has got various kinds of encoders and decoders, source decoders, channel decoders, and transmitters, modulation, demodulation, and AI. They're trying to use it in each of these modules and in the entire communication system. Now, that is the thinking that is there, but we have not yet reached a place where it has anywhere near deployment. It will take a lot more time on that. So then, what is the disadvantage of AI in particular neural networks? The major disadvantage is it does not have mathematical foundations. It does not, unlike the traditional communication, it does not have strong mathematical foundation. And the question is then, my next follow-up question for you may be, why is a mathematical foundation needed? Why don't I just build a system that works? You're absolutely right. But there are two things. Yes, we want the system to work, but we want it to work every time. Math ensures that it will work every time. Whereas with AI and neural networks, as of today, there are times it may fail, the system may fail. So there are some disadvantages, but AI, the people are doing extensive research, building systems, and where AI can be used in telecom. All right. So now let me go. Let me go to the next slide. Okay. Okay. Now let's see can AI be used in transportation? And obviously, I will say yes and no. My answer to that. But I think I want to show. I mean, I don't know whether I will be able to show you the video. Let me try. I don't think. Anyway, I will not try to play a video because it might disrupt the whole presentation. But SpaceX has a nice video there at the top, and maybe later when you get a chance to look at it, they actually talk about reusable booster rockets, which is an amazing thing, which even NASA has not been able to get, which is really impressive. Space sector where AI could be potentially used. And then at the left bottom, you see aircrafts, which AI potentially can be used. And on the right, you see Tesla, which we all know and hear about. We may not own a Tesla, but you must have heard. I think in India also they had Tata Mobile, which was autonomous driving, where without a driver you could drive it, which the autonomous driving requires AI. How does it require? Because the AI will detect the obstacles in the path, navigation, avoid the obstacles, and go in the direction where there is no obstacle, so that you don't hit animals, you don't hit people. Remember, in India, the streets are much more crowded than elsewhere in the world. So it's a lot more difficult to drive in India. And I think I saw some particular vehicle, I think a police vehicle, if I'm not mistaken, on a video, where they show that it actually can navigate through that dense traffic. So these are three, transportation, we can see applications. Now, the only question is that the next question is that let's see So there's like again, continuing with the thought process, can AI be used in transportation? Remote sensing, data refinement is an application. Autonomous landing of aircrafts, drone-based agriculture are there. But there is one problem. And see, autonomous landing, for example, comes with certain kind of discomfort. Like much like I told you earlier, if I was the patient, I would like a human doctor to tell me, yeah, what the AI is doing is right. Autonomous landing is the same thing. If I'm a traveler on an aircraft, and I want to be sure that I mean, it's not enough for me if 1 out of 10, I mean, 9 out of 10 flights lands safely, because I don't want to be in that 1 out of 10 flights which does not land safely. Yeah. So, and so that's the fear. So much of AI, see, AI in telecom is different. When 99% accuracy of receiving transmitted signals is good enough, right? Because in the worst case, if I don't have good percentage of accuracy, my quality of voice will be a little bit poor. But otherwise, it's not a life and death thing. It's not a critical safety issue. But on the other hand, for if AI, if let's say, if I remember that if I say that if there are, let's say, talk about if I send 1 million clips over the air on a phone, say 1% error is there. That is about 10,000 errors. Okay, 10,000 errors for a voice or telecom application is okay. But now, if I talk about 1 million passengers fly an aircraft, can we afford to have 10,000 people die in plane crashes with AI malfunctioning? The reliability is a question mark. So when it comes to life and death, we apply different measures. So anytime in transportation, or we see other applications where there is life and death issues, we need to wait for AI to mature more. But there are plenty of applications. The voice assistant we talked about, even AI in telecom. There are so many places. Cognitive radios are there, and so there are. In your shopping, it helps you. So those are all applications which are already in place and which can be used extensively. And also, for example, robots are used in manufacturing. And you might have heard of it already. Robots are used in manufacturing. Repetitive works, which can be done again and again without, and it's simple tasks. They can do it repeatedly. And so there are many applications where AI and similar technologies can be extensively used. Now, let me go to AI in construction. There is a video here, but I think it might be a little more complex to play out a video. This is a company called Doxel, which is in California, which some of my former students started up, and I'm really proud of what they have accomplished. And here you see this guy is walking around with a camera on his head. This is a construction that is underway. So this is the building is being constructed. So he goes around with a camera, and the camera keeps on taking pictures rapidly. And then guess what happens? It is able to assess the extent to which the project is complete. Of course, you have to feed in the project plans, but it tells you. So today, one of the challenges in the construction industry is that you have a lot of delays, and because of delays, there is financial losses. So their goal was to use AI, machine learning, and to estimate project completion date more accurately. So they can, on an ongoing basis, know how much work is complete, how much work remains to be done. So it gives the project managers a good feel for a more accurate view of the completion of the project. They know the status exactly. Whereas previously, it would be a human judgment. Oh, yeah, we are about 70% done, 60% done. But it's an approximate estimate more often than not. And there are a lot of good statistics that how many projects actually get delayed. And so that was the motivating factor for my former students who started up this company, and they're doing great. Okay, let me just go to the next slide. Okay, but That is the positive benefit of using AI and machine learning in project management. But again, with same problem that we see with aircrafts and spacecrafts, as well as the AI in automation in transportation, is that despite the capability of the first bullet of AI to, I'm taking this from Science Direct, of AI to strengthen security and detect intrusions, it is also a main target for exploitation by hackers, cybercrimes, and privacy intrusion. Safety of construction workers may be compromised, which could lead to life-threatening accidents or loss of lives. For example, a computer vision system that identifies automated construction equipment may be tricked to mislabel a construction worker working at a height. AI implementation requires software engineers with deep knowledge of construction domain, and that is often a real challenge because it's not enough to be only a software engineer. You need to have a domain expertise, and that's something I realized many years ago, that it's very important for different domain experts to work together. The software engineers must work with maybe construction or civil experts when you're designing softwares for the construction industry. AI implementation has a high initial cost, and that's generally true of software development. So these are some things which are challenges, but I believe that technology, there will be many of these will be overcome in the time to come. There may be still a few hiccups, but then as long as we are aware of the constraints, we should be able to manage the limitations of the AI and neural network and machine learning technologies. Okay, so I'm going to probably wrap up in about 5 minutes, and then we can go to questions and answers. As I promised you, I'll finish in 30 minutes, so I expect to keep to that. Okay, how can AI be used in education? If you're students, I'm sure you would have plenty of ideas in your classroom, and probably sometimes you have a little difference of opinion with your professor. So I'll tell you my approach. And when I first ran into a situation where, Turnitin is a software tool, and one of the assignment, I usually ask my students to upload their projects into Turnitin, and I found that there is a lot of at that time Turnitin gave an AI indicator. So, but I didn't get upset with the students. I just spoke to them and I said, look, I would like you to give a presentation of what you have done. And then some of them, they all gave a presentation, the ones who I felt might have used AI. And then the ones that could explain their presentation and the concepts, I had no issues with it because ultimately they have learned the subject. They know what is in their presentation. But on the other hand, for those who did not know what was in the content, I said, look, I think you can use any tool. I have no problem as a technical expert. But what I would suggest is that you should know what you're presenting. And that is an important element. That's my approach in my classrooms. And of course, we have to be careful. And we had sometime wrote a paper, and one of our students actually ended up in kind of using ChatGPT, and that becomes a problem when you start trying publish a paper. We should be very careful with that. Or in the paper, we should indicate, we have used AI, ChatGPT, whatever, not an issue. It's always good to kind of mention it explicitly. Okay, now this is a research that has been done and was published in the British Journal of Educational Technology. How does the use of AI, generative AI, shape learning outcomes, and can it amplify challenges we already face in education? So they did a randomized experiment. They were asked to do a reading and writing task with varying supports. Some of them could use ChatGPT, some human experts, some had checklist tools or no additional assistance. ChatGPT was kind of results of ChatGPT kind of stood out. These essay scores improved significantly. They outperformed even human experts. Its ability to provide immediate rubric-aligned feedback helps students refine their work efficiently. Remember, this is about reading and writing tasks. Now, but the research continues, and they have mentioned in that paper, while ChatGPT uses enhanced short-term performance, it had no impact on measures of knowledge gain or transfer. Students appear to prioritize meeting rubric criteria in order to get more marks by relying heavily on AI outputs rather than engaging deeply with the material. This behavior reflects a broader concern in education. Students focusing on optimizing performance for external measures like grades rather than learning gains. And what he concludes is right. Generative AI hasn't created this issue, but it has the potential to supercharge it without well designed educational interventions. Now, I think I would say two parts. One, and I know one of my colleagues who teaches English, he had a similar problem because he told me, look, if they're going to give me the essays and whatever I ask them to do using ChatGPT, how will they learn English? And that is a real question. So certain subjects like English and other subjects, I think we need to really look at whether ChatGPT is a good thing or not, because otherwise we don't learn this subject. But for a technical subject like what I teach in electrical engineering, in principle, I'm okay to allow people to use AI tools to write the report. But my concern will be, do they know what they're writing, or are they just taking it from ChatGPT and submitting the report? And for me, that's a little bit of a concern. And so these are the various aspects of AI, machine learning, neural networks in both engineering applications as well as in education. And I'm sure, I know that it has been used for a lot of good and good applications, useful applications, applications that make our life much easier and also more efficient. But I would say that we need to cautiously look at the limitations. And I'm sure that people who are working on AI, many companies, and they will definitely improve the technology as we go down the road. And we should be aware of the limitations, and we should take decisions which are in line with that. And I think with that, I will probably conclude my presentation, and I will hand over to Ms. Suganti.
Yeah, okay. So first of all, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. So I have some questions here. So shall I ask the questions? Sir, shall I ask the questions?
Absolutely, please.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, some participants asking some questions. Okay, question from Yusuf. What are the benefits of AI?
Yeah, the benefits of AI, they can do repetitive tasks quite efficiently, but yeah, so they can do efficient tasks. I mean, repetitive tasks, which, for example, in manufacturing, you take a piece from once it's finished, and then you take it and keep it somewhere. It takes one next piece, puts it in there. It's time, and it does the same thing again and again. Now, you don't need to put a human being in that place because it's not necessary. Second, one of the reasons it's not necessary is, for example, human beings might get hurt, right, working with the machines. So actually, it's a protection for the people also. Now, yeah, so that is the repetitive works and which can be done. Now, second thing you'll find is AI can analyze lots of data and machine learning. They can analyze big data, millions and millions of bytes of data, which if you give me zeros and ones, I will have a hard time processing it. Yeah, but machine learning, neural networks, AI can do it. But conversely, when I look at an image, when a medical doctor looks at an image, he can probably draw better conclusions than probably AI and machine learning can do with the zeros and ones. So the two have to go together as of now.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir. The next question from Vignesh Ashok. How we implement AI in medical devices?
Okay, so AI in medical devices is it. See, the what you tend to do is you take the MRI scan, you take the X-ray, you take other the doctor prescribes various processes to check your health, and or even ECG, EEG. So all these things can be, and the temperature and variety of data can be processed by one AI tool. And of course, it has to be designed with the medical expert to know what is significant, what is not significant. Just because a ECG goes up in one place doesn't mean it is bad. So a medical expert has to sit with the AI tool, and that is a challenge also. I remember even 10 years ago, some doctors are not comfortable with even using a computer. And so such doctors will definitely have reservations on AI tools. So there is a lot of human level challenges that has to be dealt with. But you can see the ECG. I can look at it alone, and the let's say the I can look at the X-ray and the MRI scan. I can look at it separately, and I can make some conclusions. And some doctors are really good. They can look at all these things and make some conclusions, the right diagnosis. Now the question is, can AI help us to capture this 1% of cases which the human eye does not catch? Or can I catch, because see, a lot of times diseases like cancer and other things, by the time the patient perhaps delays in coming or whatever, by the time they come to, they're already in the last stage. And that is a real sad thing. So question is that can these tools help us to detect sickness early? Okay, so you will feed all these various data, you will feed it into a software system which will analyze it for you in simple terms.
Okay, great, sir. So next question from the participant. What is the cost implication building the AI on real-time streaming applications?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There is. Yeah. You're right. So there is, and that is one of the things challenges I told you about AI being a software system. The limitation is that it is a little slow, especially when you talk about streaming. Slow computation means you're going to have lags. So that's a little bit of a challenge. Yeah. So, but I think we can, over a period of time, we can get AI neural networks, at least part of it or all of it on hardware as well. Reconfigurable hardware, as they call it. But it can be done, but it will come in the days to come. So, because video streaming is actually video processing in a way, so we need to really look at, and so the real-time processing of videos, which is much more complex than the what do you call the processing of images. Okay, because you have many tens of images per second. So I think the key thing that we will have to look at it is the computational aspect, the computational speed.
Oh, thank you, sir. The next question. How do I envision AI transforming traditional engineering design processes in the next decade?
Okay, so the design can be in multiple elements, multiple areas. One, you can design new materials, and materials are used in chemistry, biology, biotechnology, medical field, or can be used in mechanical engineering. Yeah, it can be used civil engineering. Smart materials can be designed using AI, and you can probably combine materials in simulation tools much faster than. And of course, simulation is limited, but you can always, once you have a shorter a list of ideas or which are material configurations, which chemical configurations which need to be explored, then you can go actually do it in the real lab. You will have to do it in the real lab. So materials is one area, the and traditional engineering, and then I would say that There is a lot more to be done in the medical technology, but again, there you will have to first bridge the gap in the mistrust of doctors with technology. So, and I think that traditional engineering, if you say mechanical, you can also, when you talk about design, for example, let's say integrated chips. You can design ICs and to get more efficient. Because see, the whole idea, as you've seen in the last 10, 15 years, we have gone from micron technology, we have gone to, I think 3 nanometer is what I think I reading recently, 3 nanometer technology. So you're going smaller and smaller. Now the question is that design, if I want to reduce the size, can I get more efficient space utilization within the IC using AI technology? And I think there are some of both perhaps being done in that direction. So you can actually explore that aspect, space design. Space design is at the micro level for integrated circuits, but you can have at the macro level in building design. People who are interested in interior design, architecture, you will say, how can I make my design more creative, more aesthetic, and more space conserving? So you can use it in the traditional engineering. So that is definitely there, and entire building can be designed using AI. Of course, it doesn't do away with the human being required, but it can be done.
Okay, great, sir. So next question from Harika. What is the main goal of implementing AI in real time?
Okay, the AI in real time will be applications like telecom, and anywhere the real time is, I would say the main, see in medical purposes as of now, I do not see a real time need. Although if somebody is in the ICU, you're trying to kind of want to know a quick analysis of a critical patient, then it's a different ball game. But AI real time is one you would see is in telecom, but you would also see in aircrafts, for example, because today aircrafts have so much electronics in it. I mean, it runs a lot of the systems in the aircraft, monitoring and autopilot, and many of these things depend on electronics. Now, the key thing is AI has to be proven to be in any of these critical safety, life and death issues, aircrafts, spacecrafts, where human beings are involved. We need to make sure first AI is going to be reliable. And when AI is shown to be reliable as being introduced to aircrafts or other kind of vehicles or other kind of applications where life and death matters, then what will happen is you have to change standards. Remember, for aircraft design, there are a lot of standards. And today, I don't think AI fits into the traditional standards. So when we talked about traditional engineering a few questions back, you will have to change standards for these applications. Even in construction, there's yes, we can say anything that is not going to which the municipality or which approves your building design and construction, you will need to get it into the standards. So much of the work will have to go into convincing the standards people, like, look, AI is reliable, so that it can be introduced into the standards.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, sir. The next question, what role will AI play in creating more personalized and adaptive learning environments in engineering education?
Yes, that's a very good question. And I think that's a good place that we would, I think, adaptive learning. So, see the approach, and that's one of the things that in the education sector, that's one of the pedagogies that's being considered. Let's say I have a class of 30 students, whether school or university, doesn't matter. But each student has a different learning style, right? Each student has a learning style. Now, the question is, not everybody can, see, if I have an entire subject in math, let's say, certain parts of the course, some students may progress very fast, but they will progress slowly maybe in other parts of they may progress slowly in other parts of the course. So for every student, it's a little different. So the question is, can the content be kind of use AI and allow the student to go slow or fast through a particular section of the module or the subject based on their performance. Now, so that means that you have to administer frequent kind of informal checks to see have they learned the subject. Once you and so all this can be done with AI in a total learning manner. And then also then you can get the feedback from the student. Did they learn it? How much did they learn? And then use that feedback as well to in a way not real time but probably closer to real time, and to see that okay, this student can go fast in this module, this student has already learned it, we don't need to give every single problem which is in the syllabus, let they can go to the next topic. Yeah, so that's the kind of thing which is there, adaptive learning. But so, and I think that's primarily the way it is going to have. It's going to involve students, and it can even much like we do for shopping. Google checks, okay, what did you see? What sites you saw the last many days? So you can also see what is the student, where is his interest. See, it's not just the student's ability; it's also the student's motivation. Certain parts of a course they like more and certain parts they like less. So that also figures into their learning capability, because we know that if you like something, we'll learn it quickly. Yeah, so so all that can be fed into your AI system.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir. The next question, in what ways will AI help bridge the gap between industry needs and engineering education curricula in the future?
Okay, so I think today I would say that there is a lot of work that has to be done, and the the perspective of traditional engineers and the AI proponents is there is still a gap. If you and they have different perspectives. One would say AI can solve anything. The other will say, I'm not convinced. So we have to bridge that human level gap. But having said that, see, there is a lot. It is not just about what happens in the curriculum. It's also the national. For example, I know that India Prime Minister talks a lot about AI. In UAE, AI is one of the major goals or agendas in UAE. So there is, and they have got an entire university in the UAE which focuses on artificial intelligence. They have degrees only in artificial intelligence. So it's pretty, so the national agenda, and I think there is a what is that, NEP, right? A National Education Policy, which has come out. So those things also play a role, and you have to, because see, the curriculum in India or in the UAE is influenced by these parameters, the policies of the government. So I think so. The industry is definitely a major player. University is a major player, but the government is also a major player. So I think all three parties have to kind of get a little bit into synergy and define and come to an agreement. Okay, this is where we agree how much AI can be introduced into the curriculum and how much, because see, today if I ask a mechanical engineer, see, students go into mechanical engineering or civil engineering because they don't want to do anything with computers. They don't like programming. They don't mind the math, but they don't like programming. And so the question is, we have to also, and when I tell you, I moved from a triple E background, I moved into software development for 8 or 10 years, and I never liked it. I struggled so much because we tend to think differently. I spent about 8 years in the software industry, and it was very difficult. But then you see, so the traditional engineers have difficulty with computing, programming, software. But we have to educate on one hand. I mean, we have to get an agreement between government, the universities, and the industry, and we have to tell the students, look, there's nothing to be afraid of AI, and we have to give enough AI, and without all the nitty-gritty details that a computer science guy needs to know, so that they can be effective and productive at their workplace. Ultimately, certain people may need to just use AI tools. So user interface, how do I use it? That's good enough. But some people, like a software developer, computer science, IT person, needs to know a lot more. So we have to kind of also build up the confidence of students in high school. So I think we have to do in that direction. And of course, the curriculum will go because, see, for example, in the UAE, sustainability is a major agenda of the UAE government. So what happens is that even the national accreditation body requires sustainability in a certain percentage of the courses. So, similarly, even in India, it will happen where sustainability or AI, when it's an important element, not just in India or UAE, but globally. So, they will start to bring in those into the requirements for a program to be accredited. So, that will automatically change the composition of the courses, the nature of the courses. Yeah, so these are the things. For example, the country may say, look, we need a lot more leadership. And UA also, we have, okay, in UA, for example, they have entrepreneurship is a required course for all students, engineering, humanities. Every student requires to take an entrepreneur. Why? Because there is a need to have more startups. And probably in India, you see a lot of startups, right? Many universities, you are very proud that we have so many students who have started up companies. Why? Because startup companies provide jobs. They're not looking for jobs, right? The people who start up companies, they're not looking for jobs, they're providing jobs. So that's the national all so I'm just trying to give you illustrations where the national agenda will play a key role as three parties come together. And there has to be there and some people and yeah, different perspectives will be there, but they have to come to consensus.
Okay, great, sir. So, okay, this is my final question.
Sure.
So, from Salishu, one of the participants, Salisu, what can be done to optimize the performance of recurrent neural network models?
Okay, thank you, Salizu, for your question. And see the optimization you will have. There are multiple levels of optimizations. One, do you want your recurrent neural network to operate in real time? That's one question that you'll ask, because then it should be really fast in putting out the results. Now, you say that, look, I really don't, I'm not very particular about the how long it takes, but I need it to converge the neural network. There's a convergence aspect. My result, the error should come to serve. I have very tight bounds on the error criteria in neural networks. That's one of the parameters. Then you can trade off between time and the error. So that is the kind of thing. These are the two major parameters, and of course, the how much computational time and how much computational resources do you have to implement the recurrent neural network. What is the application, the context? Can I afford to have a high-end computing capability there, right? Or can I afford to have some delays? Or can I have a little looser bound on the error? So these are the parameters that you will have to look at. And of course, I'm not a subject expert from the computer science side, but I've used AI and machine learning in the telecom sector. So I'm throwing this not as an expert, but I can give you some rough ideas.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for the useful answers. They have been really helpful in clarifying the topic. I hope the participants were able to follow along and understand the key points shared. So your insights have certainly added value to the session. So finally, so ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of this enlightening session, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our esteemed guest, Dr. Anand Kumar, for sharing his invaluable insights with us today. Dr. Kumar, your vast knowledge, expertise, and passion for innovation have left us truly inspired. The way you have seamlessly bridged the gap between industry and academia is nothing short of remarkable. And we are grateful for the knowledge you have imparted on the role of AI in engineering applications and education. Your impressive career and contributions to global projects and cutting edge research have been a beacon of inspiration for all of us. And your mentorship continues to shape the future leaders in the field of technology and education. We are fortunate to have had the opportunity to learn from your experience. And my special thanks to the Indian Innovation Council at Whaltech for this incredible collaboration. A heartfelt shout out to Mr. Satyanathan sir for his efforts in making this session truly impactful and memorable. So looking forward to more such inspiring engagements in the future also. On behalf of everyone here, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks for your time and wisdom and commitment to empowering the next generation of thinkers and creators. We hope to continue this journey of learning and innovation with you and look forward to more opportunities to collaborate in the future. So thank you once again, Dr. Anand Kumar, and we wish you continued success in all your endeavors. So thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
And just wait for a few minutes, sir.
Sure.
Yeah. Sir, can you able to see the virtual memento?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay, great. So, sir, on behalf of Mastering Up, it's my absolute pleasure to present this visual memento as a small tribute to our incredible guest speaker, Dr. Anand Kumar. So, Dr. Kumar, your insightful contributions to have truly enriched our knowledge and inspired us in ways we could not have imagined. Your deep expertise and passion for innovation have opened new doors for us to explore, and we are grateful for the knowledge you have shared. So this token of appreciation is symbolizes our gratitude for your dedication and the incredible impact you have had on shaping our understanding. So while it may be a virtual, it represents a heartfelt thank you for your time and your wisdom and your generosity in passing on your expertise to all of us. So we are genuinely honored to have had you with us, and we hope this is just the beginning of many more collaborations. So once again, so thank you, Dr. Anand Kumar, for sharing your journey and insights with us today. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all, Tech, as well as the Sugranthi, as well as the students. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Definitely, we will meet in future collaborations also.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, bye bye, sir.